Morning, all. I've had no post. Not from you know who, anyway. So they're planning something. There'll be a knock on the door one day and I'll be arrested for not signalling properly when I was driving my horse and cart in 1985. Still, it does being done under the Domestic Violence and Crimes Act, which I'm still considering suing for slander for. But I better get the police and the council out of the way first. I have the letter to the Chief Constable, which I'm not going to read the whole thing out because I said I wasn't going to read the whole thing out. If you do want to hear the whole thing, please leave a note on the channel and let me know. But I warn you now, it's going to be minimum 20-minute runtime. Because out of interest, I did do a test run on it while recording, so obviously that never went up. All I'm going to do is take excerpts out of it. This is from when he sent me this MGD4 form, I think it's called, which was trying to streamline me into court and get me to give away all my personal earnings and details and employers, previous, past and present, I think. And of course, by signing that, as I have explained before, you are literally signing your life away. You're giving them the power to do whatever they want. And you're especially giving them the power to force you to turn up in court. Now, I'd say this is illegal. The legislation is there, but basically the underlying law, the original law about trials by judge and jury, etc. and so forth, all still stands. A lot of this legislation was introduced by Blair, and it's merely laid over the top of the original law. But if you start filling in things and signing things and sending them back, you are in trouble. So I think I put it at the end. I did ask to see the witness statement that Chris Green had allegedly filled in and signed because, as I mentioned before, no statement, no victim, no crime. What I did put at the end was, in short then, you were trying to do me for malicious communication by using malicious communication. Oh, I have put it here. You have no evidence, certainly not that I've seen, and will require to see before I do anything. And you are quite unprepared to accept any evidence from me. Now I know what he's going to do. He's going to say he didn't get this. So guess what, Alec? I'm sending it to again this weekend. And I'm also copying it to several other people this weekend. And next weekend, I'm going to send a recorded delivery. And I'm going to copy it to all those other same people. And the weekend after that, I'm going to send it special delivery. And I'm going to send a special delivery to all those other people. And then let's see you sit there and say you didn't fucking get it, you lying bastard. Because we know the script with these people. They say, you know, this is to get you into court, blah, blah, blah. And whatever you write to them and say, or however you say it to them, then they just pretend they haven't heard that and they just carry on regardless because they think they're above the law. And interestingly, given the Chief Constable put his name personally to this MGD4 form, whatever it is, your prosecution argument consists of defending a bailiff who, in my case anyway, willingly and knowingly broke the law by lying about the powers he was entitled to use, threatening to arrest me under Criminal Act for non-payment of council tax, which is a civil offence, and then further threatened me with languishing in the cells for the rest of the weekend until Monday morning, or something of that ilk. So you'd have paid no attention to that video whatsoever. In fact, as I mentioned previously, out of about 400 videos, they've only managed to find one, apparently. I should also point out, during the friendly chat I was promised by the officers, which remarkably turned into a tape-recorded interview when I got to the station. I was not cautioned properly, or indeed billed correctly. And I've reminded him, of course, that when the copper turned up at my house to arrest me for the non-payment of council tax, it can't be specifically heard on the video that I've said, "Are you going to illegally arrest me now?" And he said yes. I mean, as guys, you don't have to watch this channel. You don't have to take in what I say. I may not always be right. I do try and make you aware by saying things like, "as far as I'm aware," when I'm not sure. But hey, sometimes, I mean, everyone gets it wrong. And you don't have to say take on board what I say. But if you want these kind of people running the show, that's fine. I don't. I'll get arrested for being nasty now. And of course, there's been no mention of why the council have not been investigated for an illegal summons, why Peterborough Court has not been investigated for issuing a warrant with an incorrect offence on it, and why there appears to be a company based in St Ives Town Hall called Huntingdon District Council, which is almost untraceable on a company search. And of course, he never did reply to my letter when I reported to him Chris Green of Marston's for impersonating a policeman. Some of you will remember, the longer time viewers will remember when Simon Parr, the ex-chief constable who had to leave the job because of me, well, because of himself really, but you know what I mean, actually at one point replied to, or got a letter back, not from him, but from the police crime commissioner or someone, saying that he hadn't heard of me on this issue. Even though I'd been emailing him from the same address, to the same address. No, he hadn't got any of them. His mailbox must have been full for 3 months out. Bounced back out again. Now, there was also never an investigation into the, shall we say, investigation into my mate with the burger van when they pulled him for allegedly stealing a tax disc and a number plate, of which they had no evidence whatsoever, other than that they happened to be on the vehicle. Which is what the police don't seem to understand. Just because they find like a thing doesn't make that evidence. They do actually have to build a case around that thing. And of course the case collapsed in court. Now, what I wanted to say on this was we found out that my mate used to apply for a trading licence. He used to fill in the form, name, address, yes, name of business, his place of business, sign it. I wish to apply for a trading licence. Now, again, by signing it, you are giving them the right to charge money. Charge you money for a trading licence, which they have said you have to apply for, but you don't. And especially in this case, where they've never actually had the legal ability to charge for trading licences, because there are hoops they have to jump through to legalise these things. And if they don't do that, well, that's what this whole case is about, really. But you have to apply to them, they say. But by applying to them, signing it and sending it back, you're actually giving them the right to charge you money. So it's not really a wonder he hasn't replied to this letter. And I did put a bit in about the thing he sent me, the MGD4 or whatever it is. Do tell me in the meantime, because clearly your putting your name to this course of action means your career is probably already finished, why I must turn up for court. On the back of an unsigned document which anyone could have sent me, or just because you say so and you're going to send some of your bully boy thugs round to murder me if I don't comply. With what? A 2-page document which already says I'm guilty. Which it did, as I went through at the time. And as I said in the video last night, because it's all about you must plead guilty, otherwise there'll be no discount on your fine, and things like this. Or you may not get a discount on your fine. Oh, right. And there was one little paragraph, which wasn't in big bold type at all, which said, you don't actually have to plead guilty before you turn out for court. Which I'd missed the first time, and I'm sure is quite deliberately put in there for people to miss. Again, if you want to hear the whole letter, do let me know. But like I say, 20 minutes. The test run I did, I read it very quickly, and I think that was 15. But yes, you should be getting lots of correspondence from me, Chief Constable, until you explain why you're such a pompous, insidious, snake-like, lying, fraudulent git. Which you are. And you know you are. Anyway, I've got nothing more to say now because I was expecting Mountains of Post, but it just hasn't turned up. So they're planning something. And with that, I think we're back at the beginning. I shall see you all later, guys.